Hello and welcome back to the channel of Motoring Nonsense. I'm Tim and I'm at Denby's Vineyard. It is England's largest single estate vineyard, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to talk about SUVs. Now obviously if you've not been living under a rock for the past 15 years, you'll know that SUVs are the most popular type of car. Like, this is a very popular destination for walkers, dog walkers and grape enthusiasts. And look, SUV, some more SUVs over there. There's an SUV over here with an Aston Martin badge on it. Basically, if you don't drive an SUV, what are you doing? They seem to be the default choice for families these days. People seem to think that if you've got a family, you need one of those. Now, these people that buy SUVs, they're not wrong. They are very good. However, there is another way. There is another option, and it is the bright orange elephant in the room. Yeah, vans. This is the Volkswagen Multivan. I've been living with it for about a week, and these are my thoughts on why it might be a great SUV alternative. Let's go. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you that a van is as good to drive as an SUV. They just aren't. And this is the most up-to-date, all singing, all dancing, people carrying van you can get. It's a replacement for the old Volkswagen Caravelle, if you remember that. But now it's built on a car chassis or a car platform, MQB, so it should feel more car-like, and it does, but it is still quite big and vanny, and it rattles over bumps, and it feels like there's a lot of metalwork around you, so you do feel a bit like you're in a tin box when you go over bumps. So there's a speed bump here. Listen to this. Would you get this in an Audi Q7? No. And why am I talking about the Audi Q7? Well, this multivan costs as much as an Audi Q7. This one is £69,000. It is admittedly a top spec one with a few options and the most expensive hybrid engine, but that's a hell of a lot of money. It starts at about £48,000 if you don't need a high spec one, but you probably do want the top spec one because then you get a better digital dashboard and tinted windows and lots of nice other features. We are going to do a full walk around of this car in just a minute, don't you worry. But yeah, you come to a roundabout and you turn it in, and the Dacia Logan MCV in front of you brakes for no reason. Yeah, it goes around, doesn't lean over too much, but all your stuff in the back slides around and it makes some van-like noises. Now, the plug-in hybrid powertrain on this is some kind of genius. It's got a 1.4 litre petrol engine and an electric motor for 218 horsepower, and you think, that's going to be really thirsty. It's not too bad. I've done some big motorway trips in this with a nearly flat battery, and I'm still getting an average of 45 mpg, and you can tell it to hold on to some of the electric power when you drive past schools and things like that. But yeah, it is a van to drive, but you do also sit up high, so that is a bit SUV-ish, I guess. And because it's a big boxy shape, it's actually easier to park than you think. Thankfully, I've got a reversing camera and parking sensors on the front, so it's not too much guesswork. But anyway, let's head to the lay-by of justice. I'll do a walk around and show you the good and the bad things. And yes, we've mixed it up if you're a regular viewer. We're not doing it in order. Gets quite a lot of looks, this. It is bright orange though, so yeah. Could have given me that Porsche Macan instead. Actually, I think this is worth more than that Porsche Macan. He's got 4 exhaust pipes though. No, it's not orange. And we're back in the lay-by of justice, where I review all the cars on my channel. Go down there and subscribe if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. And I know what you're thinking, whether you're new or not. Tim, you balding idiot, or you completely bald idiot, surely you can't use a van for day-to-day family duties without scraping it everywhere. And you're sort of right, sort of wrong. See, this is 1.9 meters tall, which isn't as tall as a lot of commercial vans. So getting into multi-story car parks shouldn't be a problem. However, it's still quite long. It's nearly 5 meters long, and there is a longer version which has 20 meters. 20 meters, that'd be impressive. 20 centimeters extra. I'd have to keep walking for quite a way. And that gives you a bigger boot, because there is a downside to it being a van. And yes, it has got 7 seats. And that downside is this. Now, I'm that sort of sad mid-30s dad of 2 young girls who loves a massive boot space on a car, but look at this, it's literally massive. The tailgate extends about 2 meters past the end of the van, meaning multi-story car parks are a bit of a pain, but hey, at least it's electrically operated on this top spec model and provides a handy rain shelter. Now, the boot space on the multivan kind of sucks, and that is a bit of a problem because this is a 7-seater. You've only got, well, Volkswagen claims 450 litres of space, but that's to the roof, and don't do that. It's about 250 litres in the real world, which is less than a Ford Fiesta. So you're going to want to whip these back seats out if you don't use them. I've only got a family of 4. I never need 7 seats. So I'd rather be able to order this van, without these rear seats. But hey, you can push them forward a bit, but then they've got absolutely no legroom whatsoever. So that's a bit lame. You can maybe fit a pram there, 1 or 2 suitcases, but not as much as you would like or think. Now, if you get the long version, you get about 750 litres of space up to the roof again. So yeah, that is probably the one to get if you are going to use 7 seats and want a big boot. It's just a bit of a letdown, frankly. I want to get rid of them. I don't need them. God, it's all about me. But anyway, at least I'm not getting sunburnt under my bald man canopy. If only this car could also make me slim. Hello, as you'd expect, rear seat space in the multivan is stupendous. So these seats, they slide and they recline, they do all sorts of funky things. They've even got storage trays underneath them as well. However, they can rotate, but you have to take it out, turn it around and put it back in. And they are quite heavy, so I wouldn't bother doing that. They are heated though, as an option. So yeah, it's very clever how it takes power off a rail in the floor like it's a scale electric or something. I've also got picnic tables, which my girls absolutely love, because then you can drum on them and spill things everywhere and make a massive mess. You've got some little rear seat pockets here as well. And the center console, you can just grab and pull towards you. So you can send things up to your driver or your pilot. And then you've got another tray here. It is all very fancy and very well thought out for the most part. I haven't got any room under the seat in front of my feet. I do, however, have air vents at head height up here, and I've got some controls for the fans up here. And I've also got what I believe is the largest sunroof fitted to any Volkswagen Group product. God, I'm fun in the pub. But yeah, the best thing for me is that the ISOFIX points in the seats are dead easy to get to. No flaps, no caps to lose. You just slot them right in, and you can walk through to the back seats as well. It's cool. But what about the driver? What do they get? Is it all misery? Do they wish they hadn't had children all the time? Let's go and find out. Right, excuse the shaky cam. I'm just going to sit here on the center console and give you the lowdown on the rest of the cabin. The main thing you'll note is it doesn't feel like a commercial vehicle up here whatsoever. It feels more like a Volkswagen Golf than a van. You've got some plastic wood effect stuff there. Really big infotainment screen. Well, pretty big infotainment screen. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is all that really matters to me. And I've got a digital dashboard. Now, entry-level life models get a slightly more basic digital dashboard. This is an upgrade in this top spec style model, and it shows you your MPG and all the rest of it. You've got a nice steering wheel with none of those annoying Volkswagen haptic feedback buttons. It is it's not van-like, however, it doesn't feel as posh as other vehicles that cost the same as this, such as an Audi Q7. So there's a compromise there. It is a little bit plasticky in places. Now, the wireless phone charger down there, that is a £444 option, I think, which is quite steep, and it's quite hard to get your phone in the right place for it to actually work. You've got some cup holders that pop out down there, handbrake there, engine start button there. I do like that you've just got a tiny little gear selector there. They're all automatics, and that does mean that you can just walk through the van, which is nice. Look at this as well. You've got a little top mounted glove box and a lower one there as well, a bit like a Skoda Kodiaq. And you've got a top door bin and a bottom door bin with an actual little bin with a bin bag in it. Very nice. So yeah, it is nice in here. And this one's got the upgraded Calm and Harden sound system. I think I said that right for once. No, I didn't. Anyway, and that sounds pretty good, but it is £1,000. So you would kind of hope so. Right, that's it for the inside tour of the multivan. I'm going to get behind the wheel for a bit more driving and our conclusion. Let's get hopping, or multivanning. Multivanning? Multivanning. Right, we're out in the multivan. I'm about to go from a 50-mile-an-hour limit up to a 70. And this 1.4 hybrid does sound a bit gruff when you properly boot it. It sounds, yeah, oddly revvy, but it's certainly quicker enough. That's 70 miles an hour there. And then it does settle down into a nice, reasonably quiet idle. Now, you've got a bit of wind noise, got a little bit of tyre noise, got a few rattles as well. There's no disguising the fact there's lots of sheets of plastic on the dashboard, and it does feel a bit van-like, but I've done some big motorway journeys in this, as I said, and it's been comfortable. And one of the best features of any van is having armrests, so you can feel like you're the captain of a ship, kind of one fingering it down the M25 or something like that. But yeah, I would probably personally get a 2-litre diesel, especially if you're going to tow, because they can tow 2.5 tons if you get the optional tow bar. This hybrid can only tow 1.2 tons, I think. So yeah, it's not a bad option, this hybrid. And if you can plug it in at home and you're going to be doing short journeys in it, then go nuts and do it. But for me, I'd go diesel or just one of the regular 2-litre petrol engines, and they're all front-wheel drive as well. There's no 4-wheel drive option, no option to stick knobbly tyres on your multivan for that hashtag van life lifestyle. So conclusion time for the multivan then. Let's start with the cons. The boot space is a bit crap. If you can't store those 3 rear seats in your garage and you want a big boot, then yeah, you're a little bit stuck, frankly. I wish they gave you the option to spec this car with only 4 or 5 seats, but I don't think they currently do in the UK. And also, if you want to buy one of these in the UK, you can only go to certain Volkswagen retailers and van centres to do so. You can't just go into your local small Volkswagen retailer and buy it like you would a Golf. My other niggle, that tailgate, that is massive. It's a little bit annoying when you're parked in a car park. And yeah, my other niggle is it doesn't fully feel like a car to drive. I kind of wished it was a little bit more refined. This one is a little bit rattly and a little bit tinny feeling. Doesn't feel like you've just bought a transporter. It's a step up from that, but it's still not fully there. But other than that, it's pretty much all good. I love the cabin space. There's so much airiness in here, and that's what you're paying for, really. The ability to walk up and down with this flat floor. If it's raining and the kids are bored, you can just let them roam around when you're parked up. And if you park against a wall, because these doors are pretty big, you can just climb over and open the other door. Now, one thing I wasn't expecting, the upgraded Harman Kardon, not Harman Kardon sound system is really good, and you can actually have a proper rave in here. There's none of the tinniness that you get from van speakers usually. It's got loads of safety assist, it's got lane keep assist, radar cruise, all that kind of stuff. So it has got lots of car mod cons. Would I pick it over an equivalently priced SUV? And by that I mean something like a Volvo XC90 or an Audi Q7, a BMW X5. Depends what you want. This, your money is going on the space and the size and almost the lifestyliness of it. I'd love to drive my family through France in this from campsite to campsite. I don't know, it doesn't feel half as special inside as one of those SUVs, and the powertrain options aren't quite as interesting, so it really depends what you want. You are having to make a compromise if you buy this. But hey, it looks cool, the kids love it, sometimes that is the most important thing. Anyway, hopefully this has been helpful. Please give me a thumbs up if you found this insightful or entertaining or just distracting from your day-to-day work. Do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Go down to the comments and leave me any questions that I've not answered, or just abuse me in German. I'm open to anything, frankly, and I'll see you next time. Not anything. I meant abuse. What? No, hang on. Can't get out of this. How do I dig myself out of this hole?